Iran and Russia are deepening cooperation as tensions between Tehran and Washington continue to rise. Russia may be giving Iran a new nuclear boost as Trump pushes against an Iranian nuclear capability. Russia's Rosatom could help Iran move beyond buying nuclear technology to building its own power plants. Iran and Russia are exploring deeper nuclear cooperation as tensions threaten regional stability. Putin may be quietly expanding nuclear cooperation with Iran, sending a new signal to Trump. Amid growing tensions with the US, Iran is looking to expand cooperation with Russia in several strategic sectors. Iranian official Reza Rafiei said Russia's Rosatom could enable Tehran to build nuclear power plants. Rafiei, a member of the Iran-Russia Joint Chamber of Commerce, made the comments according to Iran International. Rafiei said Rosatom could help Iran shift from buying nuclear technology to building nuclear power plants. He also said Russian contractors have resumed work at Iran's Bushehr nuclear power plant. Iran's ambassador to Russia, Kazem Jalali, also spoke about progress at the Bushehr nuclear facility. In an interview with Sputnik, Jalali said work on the Bushehr nuclear power plant was continuing. Jalali said Iran and Russia were preparing a contract for the key Rasht-Astara railway project. The Rasht-Astara railway is expected to strengthen the Russia-Iran north-south trade route. Iran and Russia have also discussed expanding cooperation in the energy sector, according to Sputnik. The two countries have reportedly discussed transporting Russian gas to Iran. The discussions also included plans to build the infrastructure needed to support potential Russian gas supplies to Iran. Russia has just made a shocking move in Iran, and amid the latest U-turn, President Trump may not have expected Moscow to re-enter such a strategically sensitive location at this moment. Rosatom has begun returning Russian specialists to Iran's Bushehr nuclear power plant, according to reports carried by Russian state media, including TASS, signaling a cautious but important restart of operations at the site. The first 5 Russian engineering specialists have already reached the Bushehr facility, where they have reportedly arrived at the residential settlement and begun carrying out their assigned duties. With this initial deployment, the total number of Russian specialists currently present at Bushehr has risen to 25, marking the first stage of a broader return by Rosatom personnel. Rosatom says it plans to send several dozen additional employees to Bushehr within the next 2 weeks, provided the security situation does not deteriorate and fighting between the United States and Iran does not escalate again. The next stage of Russia's deployment will therefore depend heavily on the conflict's trajectory, because any renewed escalation could once again place Rosatom personnel at serious risk. If conditions remain stable, Rosatom aims to expand its workforce at the Bushehr project to approximately 100 Russian specialists by the autumn, significantly increasing its presence at the Iranian site. The Russian Nuclear Corporation also plans to bring back all of the specialists who were previously evacuated from Iran, although the process is expected to happen gradually rather than in a single deployment. However, a complete return to pre-war staffing levels will reportedly take place only after the United States and Iran reach a final agreement capable of ending the hostilities and providing stronger security guarantees. Despite the disruption caused by the conflict, construction of the main and auxiliary buildings for Bushehr's second and third reactor units is continuing, keeping Russia's long-term nuclear partnership with Iran alive. Preparatory work is also continuing on hydraulic engineering facilities at the site, suggesting that important supporting infrastructure remains part of the ongoing expansion plans for the Bushehr complex. This development comes after US military strikes reportedly hit areas near the Bushehr nuclear facility, raising concerns about the safety of workers and the potential risks to sensitive nuclear infrastructure. However, available reports indicate that the main reactor structures at the Bushehr plant were not directly hit, and Iranian officials have said that the operating reactor itself remained unaffected. Russia is reportedly sending explosives, ammunition, and drone components to Iran, in what could represent a significant expansion of military supplies between the two countries. The shipments are said to be traveling across the Caspian Sea, according to an exclusive report by NBC News that cites information about the alleged transfers. A European government document obtained by NBC News reportedly lists TNT among the cargo, suggesting that explosives may be included in at least some of the shipments. A Western official also confirmed the contents of the document to NBC News, adding credibility to the reported details while maintaining that the information has not been independently made public. However, the full scale of these reported shipments has not been made public, leaving the total volume and frequency of the transfers unclear. The supplies could help Iran replenish military capabilities damaged or depleted by US and Israeli strikes, potentially supporting efforts to rebuild its weapons stockpiles. The reported transfers also mark a reversal in the Moscow-Tehran drone partnership, which for years largely saw military technology and equipment move in the opposite direction. For years, Iranian Shahid-style drones, along with technical support and related expertise, flowed to Russia as part of the country's expanding military cooperation. Now, Russia is reportedly sending the tools and materials Iran needs to rebuild its own arsenal, pointing to a potentially significant shift in the nature of their defense relationship. The Caspian Sea is the world's largest enclosed inland body of water, and it is bordered by only 5 countries: Russia, Iran, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, and Azerbaijan. Under international agreements governing the Caspian Sea, its waters fall under the jurisdiction of those 5 littoral states, limiting the ability of outside naval powers to operate freely in the region. Western navies have no direct access to intercept ships traveling between Russian and Iranian ports, giving vessels on this route a degree of protection from external maritime intervention. The route can therefore bypass key maritime pressure points that the United States and its allies are able to monitor or potentially block on other international shipping routes. Ships can also switch off their Automatic Identification System, or AIS, tracking transponders, which can make their movements more difficult to monitor and their exact routes harder to follow. A rebuilt Iranian drone and missile arsenal could increase pressure on the United States and its Gulf allies, particularly if Tehran is able to restore capabilities damaged by recent military strikes. A rearmed Iran could also draw additional U.S. military attention and resources away from the war in Ukraine, potentially creating competing demands for American forces and strategic planning. Iran's ability to resupply Hezbollah and other regional proxies could depend in part on restoring its own depleted stockpiles, giving Tehran greater capacity to support its network across the Middle East. Moscow may view a stronger Iran as a way to complicate U.S. strategy across the Middle East, potentially forcing Washington and its allies to divide their attention among multiple security challenges. Neither Russia nor Iran has commented on the reported shipments of TNT, ammunition, or drone components, leaving key details about the alleged transfers and their intended use unconfirmed.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.